I had a candidate call me today, and he's in a final interview, and the company has actually hired an outside person to interview him. And if he does well, he'll get the offer. And if he doesn't, he goes home. So he asked me, he said, Peggy, what can I do? What's the piece of advice that you could give me that would help me secure this offer? I really want this job. And here was my answer. I said, Jerry, I would ask the gentleman when he calls you on the phone, it was going to be a phone interview. When he calls you on the phone, I want you to say, hey, this is kind of unusual for me. I've never had someone interview me from outside the company. What are your goals in our call? Did they give you specific areas that you're to determine my skill sets or my aptitude or my knowledge or my client understanding or whatever it is? What are your goals in this call? And I could hear my candidate be a little nervous about that. You know, that's an aggressive question to ask. But you know what I told him is I said, if you were asked today to interview a candidate for the company that you work for currently, as a one more opinion, and that candidate asked you what it was you were trying to do in that interview when you interviewed that candidate, what would you think? I would be impressed. I would be impressed because the candidate has enough confidence to ask me a question that's very difficult. He's got enough foresight to understand that if he could understand what my goal was, then he could probably make sure that he was successful. I mean, I would love that. And when I explained that to my candidate, he said, absolutely, I would think that was fantastic. If someone asked me that question, there would be no negative attached to that. And it's the truth. There wouldn't be. So I just want to encourage you, when you're in that interview, the one that you know you've got to do well on, and you're a little uncomfortable because it's a little different, maybe it's a different person than you've normally talked to at a different level than you used to, or maybe it's a third-party assessment type thing, be calm and ask the question, what is your goal today? What are you trying to achieve? What did they ask you to determine? Because if you can get that answer, well, you're going to do great in the interview. I'll see you at the top.